Yahoo and cockle-doodle-doo, it's your boy, Reddit Rooster. Now we're spicing things up a little. First, we had some insane parent stories, but now we're going over to entitled parent stories. That's a whole new subgenre. They're usually insane as well, but mostly not against their own children, but against other people. It's very interesting. You may also know them already because they're very popular on YouTube. So let's just get right into the crazy people and their crazy children. Before I start, I'm on mobile. Sorry for bad formatting, etc. So my family is getting ready to move. Most of our stuff is packed up in the garage. My drums are out there too, but unpacked and set up because I play in a hardcore band and we do practice there. I think it's really funny that he prefaces that he's in a hardcore band. Not like he's not saying like I'm in a hard style band or like I'm in a hard rock band. He says I'm in a hardcore band. I'm amazing. I'm sorry, I just found that really funny. There's this really cute kid, let's call him CK, who always knocks on the garage door and asks to try the drums. Sometimes I let him. I really like the little guy. His mother, EM, for entitled mother, however, is a big piece of work. On this particular day, I was studying for midterm in my room when I heard someone on my drums. I thought it was my siblings, who I don't trust around the kid anymore because they punched holes in two of the tom heads. So I went out to tell them to get off. However, it seems that they were out in the neighborhood and left the garage door open. On the kid was cute kid. I'm sorry, but like calling him a cute kid and that being his name in the story is really weird. I'm just going to call him entitled kid, alright? Maybe he's a nice kid. Call him nice kid. We'll just call him kid, okay? But calling him a cute kid the whole time, it's weird to me. So, yes. Kid and entitled mom were in the driveway recording him. I walked out and asked who they asked to use the kid. And entitled mother said that the garage door was open and kid wanted to play. I was a bit shocked that she just let him walk up and play, especially because it was technically in our house. I started to explain that I was fine with him playing as long as he asked, but she started to say that she was supervising him so they didn't have to. I was annoyed by this, but I decided not to comment on it. I told entitled mother that I needed them to leave because I was studying and I needed to close the garage door. She was not happy about this. She started going on about how kid just wanted to play the drums and that I was preventing him from learning. I said I was sorry, but I couldn't have them here right now. Kid seemed fine with it, probably because he knew that I'd let him some other time. But entitled mother started yelling at him to sit back down and keep playing. I kept telling her that I needed his study, but she wouldn't have any of it. I really didn't want to threaten to call the cops on her, but she was starting to become hostile towards me, yelling and telling me what a horrible person I was. Kid seemed pretty embarrassed about the whole thing. When I told entitled mother that I would call the police if she didn't leave, she walked up to the drum set and tried to pick it up and move it. Unfortunately for her, I used frame mounts for my I can never pronounce this. Okay, cymbals. I'm leaving this take in because you guys can know I'm bad at pronouncing stuff like that. Cymbals, cymbals. And the bass drum was in between the frame posts. She wasn't going anywhere with my drums. When she started unscrewing my cymbals, I called the cops. The entitled mother was out of there extremely fast once I was on the phone. I ended up directing the cops to her house when they showed up. And now whenever she sees me, I get a dirty stare and some rude language. Kid still comes over once in a while maybe? I think he means once in a while. And I like to teach him whenever I can. Still, a really kid. Yeah, I'm not saying that again. That's weird. Stop calling the kid really cute. It's weird. It's weird. Yeah, well, I mean, this story is pretty cut and dry. That woman is obviously stupid as heck because you don't just enter property of other people just because it's open. I mean, duh. How do you think she would behave at an open casket funeral? But no, but really, I mean, Yeah, that's just, I mean, yeah. That the OP did the right thing, called the cops. She got reprimanded. Yeah. I mean, there's not much to say about this. Good for him, I guess. Good for the kid that can still play the drums. Bad for the mother. I mean, yeah, cool. Stop calling the kid cute, though. Please. Before you read, English isn't my first language, and I'm on mobile. The backstory. I'm allergic to pollen, so I have to take meds that ease my symptoms, like itchy eyes and breathing problems. So me and some friends were sitting in a restaurant, eating stuff, and it was time for me to take the pills. Entering Entitled Mother and Entitled Kid. The cast. Me, obviously OP. F, Friends. EM, Entitled Moron. I see what you did there. And Entitled Kid. Give me the Tic Tacs, Kid. Well, that sounds interesting. Let's begin. Entitled Kid sees me taking the pills, packed in a typical pill container, and comes to our table asking me for a Tic Tac. Me. Sorry, but these, pointing at the pills, aren't Tic Tacs. They're medicine. Entitled Kid nods and leaves. We thought he'd understand that he just can't have them. Entering Entitled Moron. Bum bum bum. God, we were so wrong. An entitled kid told me you're not giving him your Tic Tacs. They're not Tic Tacs, they're pills. I need them. Stop lying! Those are obviously candy! Like I said, those aren't candy. He can't have them. Entitled Kid is now throwing a tantrum. What did you do? You made him upset! I'm sorry, but those are not medicine! Stop lying, and even if they were medicine, what are they for? They are for my allergy. I'm allergic to pollen. You racist! There's no allergy against Polish people! This makes more sense in German. Let me explain. I said pollen. Pollen in German. She understood Polish. Polen in German. Know the difference? I would say. So, actually, it's a very, very similar word in German. It's just one letter difference. That's why she got confused. She's still a big Fred Grunt. I said pollen. Pollen. Shut up, you racist, and give my kid your candy! Entering an employee. First of all, he was not in the cast list, so I'm not happy about that, but I mean, alright, let's continue reading. Entering an employee. What is going on? This racist stole my kid's candy! Friends. That's not true! Employee. Did you steal this boy's candy? Pointing at Entitled Kid. I show him the pills. They're my pills and I need them. This kid thinks they're candy and asks if he can have some. I said no. Now this woman, his mother, is harassing us. Entitled Mother yells and screams that we should be taken out of the restaurant and should be sued for theft. She attacks an employee for getting her escorted out and gets into jail for attacking this guy. Yay! Up until the last part, I actually thought this story could have taken place. But like the last paragraph is just so weird. I'm not sure. Actually, seems kind of fake with the... Oh yes, and she got dragged off the premises. She got thrown in jail. Believe you me, I'm reliable, I am OP. Doesn't seem right. Because the thing is like... Everything has been described in detail until now. And then the whole part where she gets dragged off and thrown in jail is in so little detail in one sentence. It's a little fishy. But anyway, let's just assume the story is real. In that case, wow, how stupid can you be? Like, if those are really pills that are not candy, if you gave them to your child, they could have major side effects. Why would you ever do that? Even if there's just a smidgen of a doubt. Like, why? I really, really don't understand it. Because you could harm your child very badly. And you can always just buy them sweets. I mean, come on. You're in a restaurant, in a cafe. You can buy stuff. Like, stupid. You're stupid. I do not like you. You're dumb. And fake. I think. I don't know. Maybe I should look down in the comments. Maybe someone already said you're fake. Let me check it out for a second. Yeah, okay, so people in the comments as well are saying, well, it's a little fishy. Also, there seems to be another post that has happened, that has been posted a while back that should be very similar to this one. So maybe this is all baloney. But I don't know. I don't know. Just make up your own mind. If it's real, that entitled mother is a freaking entitled moron, if I do say so myself. This is my first post, and I quadruple checked everything, so roast me if you need. Well, that's an open invitation if I ever seen one. Well, maybe we can take advantage of this, guys. Now, one thing you need to understand is how my mother can get. Just a quick short story. I was once in a test at uni. My phone was required to be turned off for the 2 hours I was in there. I came back, turned my phone on, and instantly got missed calls and messages from her. Every single message consisted of, "When I call, you pick up." She insisted that I sneak my phone in the test with me, so that if she calls, I can leave an answer. I'd automatically fail my test for this. I'm registered as a student with disabilities, so I get double time on my tests. As a result, during my tests, I can't have any contact outside the center. I can take a break if I need, but I have to spend it in the lobby. To this day, she still thinks I was in the wrong for having my phone off. And now that you've met my mother, on with the story. I'm a university student. You already told us that. I live on campus for most of the year, and only live with my parents on breaks. Anyone familiar with the school year knows that election day does not land anywhere near any breaks. In my state, you can have your voter registration address as your on-campus address if you live on campus. They actually encourage it since you spend most of your year there, and therefore the elections actually directly affect you. So I did. I changed my address on my registration to my dorm room address. Needless to say, there was a local election back home and my family was keen on us all participating and voting for a particular person. My mum, about a week before the election, called and asked me to apply for an absentee vote for the local election back home. I told her I had changed my address to the one on campus. She replied offended, "Why? You don't live there!" The logic, however, is simple. I spent 9 months living in my dorm, half a state away from home. I spent 1 month home for winter break and 2 months home for summer break. Essentially, you do live where you go to school, and the state sees it that way too. You pay rent, you pay electricity, water, you sleep there, you live there. Now, the deadline to apply for absentee voting had already passed by the time she had called. When I pointed that out, she again took it personally. She wanted me to just get one anyway. When I told her I couldn't, she then asked for me to instead change my address back. Now the deadline in my state to change your address before an election is around a month. She called a week before. Even after being told that it would be illegal for me to try to vote at home, especially since I'm voting in the local elections in the campus area, which again she took very offensively, she tried to tell me to just do it anyway, because she already told her friends that I was voting there? What the frick? An hour into the argument, I finally revealed that even if it was possible for me to switch back addresses in time, even if I could still apply for absentee, that I would not, as then I couldn't vote in the elections local to the campus, and that was where I was voting. I was voting for the area around my campus because, as I spent most of my year there, and will for a long time, the policies affect me more than the policies of a location I spent a fraction of my time at. I also liked the area around my campus so much that, like many previous students, I decided to move there after I graduate. This she was okay with. This she understood. But she couldn't understand why I would vote there instead of home. The last thing she said to me for election day was, "Okay, just remember to apply for absentee. Who knows? You might get it even if you don't. I'll just pick you up if I have to drive you down here so you can vote." She didn't say this in a mean way, but as a cheery, "I'm trying to help" way, and I honestly believe she was trying to help me. But she refused to listen to me when I told her how illegal okay, that's a weird sentence. When I told her how illegal what she was suggesting was. Yeah, okay. After the election, she mentioned that she would just tell everyone that I voted there anyway, and that I voted for the specific person they were rooting for anyway. I didn't care. She can do what she wants, but I made it clear that if I was personally asked, I would tell them that it would be impossible as I'm registered to vote in a different county. She mostly dropped it by now, but she still acts really offended if it's ever brought up that I wouldn't break the law for her. I'm ready to put up with it again this year. It's really no big deal, just a little argument. Though I suppose I should point out that some friends caught glimpses of my messages with her, as she was messaging me constantly, which prompted me to bring it up during a counseling session, and the counselor on the spot labeled the relationship toxic. I'm an adult though. It's a nuisance at this point, if anything. In case it isn't clear, she didn't do anything illegal, as she never tried to apply for my absentee. I know this because if I had even applied, I would have gotten a confirmation mail at my registered address, at my campus, and I never got it. However, it's at the point where I wouldn't waste a second to notify police of attempted voter fraud if she did, and I make it very clear that I didn't vote at home. So whenever someone brings up how my mother told them I did, I make it clear that I did not, and they suddenly get very untrusting of her, which is somehow my fault? Oh well, it's a shame that I don't care. So this is actually a very sad situation because OP doesn't seem to realize that his mother is so entitled, and that's the pure definition of a toxic relationship. There was the comment earlier on where OP just brushed it off like, oh, some people, my counselor calls it toxic, but it's just a nuisance. No, it's not just a nuisance, it's freaking toxic. She demands you to vote for a party just because she likes it, which is completely against democratic ideals, because you're supposed to vote for the party you actually find will have the best policies, not what your family wants. That's not how democracy works. And she's completely trying to work you to vote for a party she likes, even though you told her you do not want to do that, and then she says, okay, well, if I can't get you to illegally vote for your party, I will lie to all of my friends that you did vote for them just because I wanted to look that way. That is toxic in any way, and it's just freaking awful. So, if you think you're not in a toxic relationship with your mother, I'm sorry, but you should think twice. That's it for today, my peeps. These parents just are getting crazy and crazier. It's getting out of hand. Yeah, but I think that's really great because that will get us ample stuff to talk about in the future. I hope you like my stuff. I have 10 subscribers by now, which isn't much on a cosmic scale, but I mean, it's good for me. It feels good to me. I hope we will be way more in the near future. I have way more views than I have actual subscribers, so maybe at some point we can reach the famed 20 subscribers. I'm really digging this video right now, I'm sorry. Have a nice evening, sleep well, and don't do too much tic-tacs. Kids seem fine with it, probably because he know. That's not correct grammar. It's not correct. It's wrong. we spiced things up. We had some insane parent storage. We had some insane parents storage. But he started to say that she was soup.